All right. Welcome everybody to the beginning of the week, technical and fundamental analysis. Before I jump into the analysis, let me give a quick disclaimer as always. This is not financial advice. Anything that I share during this analysis is for educational purposes only. I repeat, this is in no way financial advice. Anything that I share during this analysis is for educational purposes only. Cool beans, cool beans. Let's jump into it. Well. If we look over yesterday's pre-week analysis, um, I told you guys that I was on the sidelines, of course, for the beginning of the trading week. I told you that I was neutral because I didn't know which way price action was going to open up for this new trading week. However, I did give you, if I had a gun to my head analysis, I told you that I was on the bullish side for the dollar, um, and I was on the bearish side for currencies and futures, right? So yesterday in the pre-week analysis, I told you guys that I wanted to see the dollar deliver price efficiently through these monthly premium array levels, right? And I told you that I wanted to see us um, push through those levels, close above them, potentially run that weekly buy side liquidity. And I wanted to see price drawn to this daily volume. I'm sorry, this monthly volume imbalance that we see right here shaded in this pinkish red color. And as you can see, um, price was bearish today. The dollar didn't give us a big drop, but we did close down, and overall price was bearish for the dollar today. So, being that we have the daily candle printed out, and it was a bearish day, I'm expecting the dollar to continue lower until we run this sell side liquidity, right? And I would like to see us give a good engagement of the weekly discount array levels that you see here outlined in these blue horizontal lines, right? I want to see price come down into this imbalance. This BISI is coined by Michael Huddleston, this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And once we come down and engage these discounted price levels, then we would see how price reacts to those levels, right? So either we're gonna push through them, then come back and use them as resistance to continue lower, or we're gonna find support and use them as a support to continue higher to come back up into these levels that I wanted to see price engage with today, right? So either or. But moving forward for tomorrow, I do want to see the dollar come down into these discounted price levels here, right? Cool beans, cool beans. So moving on to currencies. Um, of course, um, being that I was, bullish for the dollar yesterday in the pre-week analysis, currencies move in the opposite direction of the dollar. So I would have liked to see Euro USD come down and run the sell side liquidity, the weekly sell side liquidity, right? And give us a push down into this BISI, this imbalance, and then continue higher. Being that today was a slightly bullish day for the dollar, nonetheless, it was a bullish day. And so I would like to see us continue higher to run up into the weekly premium array levels, right? That's what I'm expecting out of Euro moving forward into um, London and New York sessions tomorrow. and then we'll see how price reacts if and when we get to that level. However, if we break below the monthly PD arrays throughout the rest of Asian markets tonight and for London markets in the morning, then I would like to see price go ahead and sell off to run that weekly sell side liquidity and come down into this daily um, imbalance that we have here, right? So that's what I'm calling for Euro USD. Same thing for the pound. I expect us to continue higher. I would like to see us run this buy side liquidity from the 28th of December. And see how price reacts once we run that buy side liquidity, right? I'm looking at these equal highs that we have here. We could see the pound just run those highs and then run lower. So keep your eyes on these fairly equal highs that we have right here. Um, see, could very well see price play out like that. But overall, my bias for currencies as well as futures is bullish. Because we've been in a bullish uptrend for the last 3 or 4 months with futures and currencies. And so I would of course trade with the trend, right? Until I see a definite confirmation that the trend has switched, right? That we've went from a bullish trend to a bearish trend. Until I see that, until you see that, you should definitely always trade with the trend because what the trend is definitely your friend. So, when you trade against the trend, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up getting hurt. Point blank period. So that's what I'm looking at for the pound. Same thing with NQ. We know that our target has been these fairly equal highs that we see outlined here, right? That sit inside of this weekly fair value gap right here that we have shaded in this pinkish red rectangle. So I want to see us get up in there, right? I would have liked to see us sell off today to run this sell side liquidity and then continue higher, but we did not run that sell side liquidity. We did push below the weekly PD arrays, right? But as you can see, this daily candle closed above those levels. So I expect us to pull back up into this imbalance and reach for buy side liquidity to the upside, right? So that would be here. And then the next area would be these fairly equal highs here, right? Cool beans, cool beans. And same thing with, I'm sorry, I don't drop down to GJ. We don't trade GJ. Let's move on to futures. All right. So with futures, um, as well as with currencies, I told you guys that if I just had to pick a bias, my bias was to the downside for futures. I would have liked to see us come down into the monthly discount array levels, right? That we see marked in these green horizontal lines here. I would have liked to see price come down into there before we went higher. However, we see price pushed higher today without engaging those levels. So for the rest of Asian and going to London, um, I anticipate price pulling back down into this level, into this imbalance. I'm sorry, and continuing higher, right? But we would need to at least break back below consequent encroachment of this of these weekly PD array levels, right? And then I would feel more comfortable with seeing price come back down into this imbalance. If we don't break below the consequent encroachment of the weekly PD arrays, then more than likely ES is just going to continue to run these daily imbalances or PD arrays, should I say, and reach for that weekly buy side liquidity that we see here, right? So we got this monthly buy side liquidity up here, and my overall bias for futures, as I said earlier, is bullish because we've been trending up for the last few months. And unless I get the confirmation. Now, had we respected this fair value gap right here when we push back up today in this breaker, daily breaker that we see right here, which is this low, and we got a high to the left of it, and we got a high to the right of it. That is a breaker block. That is a bullish breaker block. And we see that price push right through that today. Did not respect that whatsoever. So there's no confirmation for the bullish uptrend switching over to being bearish, right? So no confirmation. We still stay on the side of a bullish trending market. And so with that being said, if we don't break back below this consequent encroachment of the weekly PD array levels, then I got price going up and through these daily PD array levels here, premium array levels here, coming back down, using them as a support to continue higher to run the weekly and monthly buy side liquidity. If we break below the consequent encroachment of it, I would like to see price sell off lower, come back, retest it again, and then come on down into this imbalance. Maybe even come back down to the top of the fair value gap and then continuing high. Same thing with NQ. I see us running up into these daily daily premium array levels, right? And the monthly buy side liquidity. So I'll be paying attention to see how price um action is playing out through the rest of Asia and going into London in the morning. If we cannot get back below these daily um premium array levels that we just pushed through today, then that is a good confirmation that price is going to continue higher, or should I say a good indication that price is going to continue higher. If we break below them, then I would like to see price come back down and engage this fair value gap, this shaded area, and then continue high. So overall, I'm on the side of a bullish futures and currencies market in a bearish dollar. That's my overall long-term view of the markets. Um, I wanted to see the dollar show us that bullish momentum today because I wanted to see price deliver efficiently through this daily volume imbalance that we have within these monthly premium array levels right here, right? This is daily volume imbalance right there, right? I wanted to see price, the dollar delivered efficiently through those levels, right? And run that weekly buy side liquidity and then go lower. So my overall bias is bearish for the dollar. But I did want to see us um play this daily volume imbalance and the weekly buy side liquidity before continuing lower. But we see price had other things in mind today. So we all know price does what it wants to do. Um, and you just got to be aware enough and, able to, be nimble and get on the right side of price when price does go against your short-term analysis or long-term analysis. You just got to be able to identify that and get on the right side of price. So as you can see from the post that I share in the Telegram group and on my YouTube shorts that I was able to do that and pull some handles out of the market today, even though price went against my short-term buys. So with that being said, oh yeah, right quick, let me look at Bitcoin. Because we're hearing a lot of talk and seeing a lot of movement out of Bitcoin. So you guys know that I wanted to see Bitcoin run up into 40,000. I wanted to see us run that level from down here, from way down here at 25,000. This was our area of interest or our point of interest. Um, and my next point of interest is 48,000. That's why I have my alert at. Um, because I did position myself in Bitcoin around the 40,000 level. Once we broke it and pulled back down to it, bought here. I didn't buy here, bought some more here. So I will be liquidating those positions at 48,000 once we get there. Right. I was expecting us to pull back from here um after we rent this swing high right here, this daily swing high here, right? I was expecting. That's why you see I have it drawn out the way I do. But we see that we didn't break back below 40,000. So now my next point of interest is 48,000, right? And we could see Bitcoin pull back down to 32,000 after we run 42,000, or we could see Bitcoin pull back down to 32,000 right now. So it just all depends. Um, but I am anticipating a very significant um plummet lower. I think they're gonna give us one last squeeze out when they announce the Bitcoin ETF, right? I think that the majority of the world is thinking that that's going to make Bitcoin just skyrocket. And I think that's when they're going to pull the rug from underneath everybody's feet, drop it back down to about 32,000, and then swing it higher. So, um, that's my thoughts for Bitcoin. Be safe out there if you're buying Bitcoin, especially if you're trading Bitcoin. Be super, super, super careful because Bitcoin is very volatile. Bitcoin can have some very, very volatile price swings, especially during times of high impacted news. Um, like a Bitcoin ETF or Bitcoin halving or Bitcoin regulation, crypto regulation, or anything um, of that manner. So please be careful with crypto. You guys don't hurt yourself and never, never, never invest any amount that you can't afford to lose, point blank period. So with that being said, that will bring the beginning of the week technical analysis to an end. Um, Corman um, won't be joining us tonight, so she will update us with the beginning of the week fundamentals in the private group. So as always, if these recordings, these analysis, these um, sessions are is adding any value to you guys' life, your trading journey and your trading careers, always feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out a lot. If you're interested in joining the private Telegram group, visit precisionpipsllc.com and register for the silver package. With that being said, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, coming out, getting this knowledge and empowering yourselves. Let your family and friends know you love them while they still here, please. And as always, peace and love, everybody. You know.